でも続くようなあの季節は4つ並ぶまだこの前を遮るものは何もないアスファルトセミシグルを反射して君という沈黙が聞こえなくなるこの日々が色あせる僕と違う君の匂いを知ってしまっても置き忘れてきた永遠の食に今でも青が澄んでいる今でも青は澄んでいるどんな祈りもどこを近づけるのにどうか無限だまるで静かな海のような頬を使ったら血のような色の中君を驚く言葉がずっと喉の半月かけるまた会えるのねっていう声になる大声知れ下がり締め付く風の季節は思いはせるまだ何者でもあなたは僕の想像何もかも分かち合えたはずだったあの日から少しずつ君と違うもっという呪い歌っていく君の笑顔の奥の海見落としたことを悔やみ尽くして頭のまさいて散っていく君にさよなら今でも青が澄んでいる今でも青が澄んでいるどんな祈りも声を近づけるのに届かんでるんだまるで静かな雲のような頬を伝った夏のような夜の中血に踊る言葉がずっと喉の半日かけるまた会えるよねって声になれない
Hello, Kalu Kale. How are we doing today, everyone? My name is Notepad Anon, and I write games for fun, so what are we doing today? Today we're going to be working on the back half of a Palinka effect, because there's a lot of Palinka effect, and I've got all of this shit done. I just need to get this done, and I think I've got it. I think I nailed it. Yeah, I haven't watched this too. Jujutsu Kaisen is a gay romance story between a man and himself. It's very impressive. That's all you really need to know. And now, McDrewsalt here will say, no, JJK is actually this intricate story. But he's lying. It's a gay romance novel, except no one is gay except the main character, Gojo. Also, I'd like to thank Sunny Was Taken. Thank you very much for following. Hello, everyone. Yes. So, here's the current situation. We need a system. We need to put all this math together to make it all nice and pretty. Here's all the lore I wrote. Here's all the lore on Hexers I wrote. Here's all the lore on pretty much fucking Shonen Serbia. Here's all the lore of the deep lore. Here's how you do the power system. Here's how you do getting horribly maimed. Here's how you do all of the rest of this shit. Now, the question is, how do we do the funny numbers? Now, if you notice this is a different size than everything else is because I wrote it when I was taking a walk today. That I probably should not have taken because I was like, I'm going to get a coffee, and that was a mistake, and now my gut hurts. Why we are going a little bit late today, because I was, my guts were not having fun. And I'm also very happy that I've been outside. Ew, yes, I go outside. Drink too much coffee and now his tummy horty. Yes, I went through the classic VTuber situation of tummy hort. And tummy hort not good. However, unlike most brave VTubers, I came back and didn't soft graduate without telling anybody. Yes, hello. Let's see, is there anything fun and exciting going on? No, nothing fun, exciting in news. Intravenous exercise or shit absolutely sucks for the first week. Then it gets kind of boring and time consuming. Now, the thing is, if I look here, zoom out a little bit. Nothing too exciting has happened. I believe. Let me see. D&D 5.5. Release date. Technically, like, the 5.5 is almost here. I don't think it's like fully out. Actually, no, it says that it is completely out. Even though I have heard, I'm gonna make a wild guess, and it's probably on Beyond D&D. Because we love Beyond D&D, and you too can now buy the 2024 Player's Handbook for $60. Yep, here it is. It's 5.5. Let's Google D&D 2024. Do we have any cool thing going on currently? No. No, it's pretty. It's there, all right. It's 5. It's 5e again, and I think everyone was expecting it to break the internet. But everything except exercise becomes like mildly alarming now. See, I'm not even exercising. That's the worst part. I have decided to start I've been fasting is what I have been doing. And fasting is all fun and games until you realize that food comes out of places, and when you don't eat food, you gotta supplement it with something, and then tummy hort, and nothing wants to come out, and that's not fun for anybody involved. When there's nothing there, nothing comes out, and it's like, oh no. Hey, I feel pretty good though, I'll say that much. Yes, but that's out. I haven't really heard anything too exciting about that. Oh god, do we have any other fun and exciting tabletop news? Technically, J Dragon's company might be falling apart. We don't know much about that, but it might be falling apart. Possum Creek, for those who don't know, Possum Creek Games, they have put out the thing. They've put this out, saying we've paused all shipments of physical books and we sort out our backlog and resolve various issues. Please be patient with us as we get everything together. It's kind of hard to tell what the fuck that means. It could mean as simple as we're really backed up with a small team and we need to do things. It could mean we're hiring a bunch of new people and we need to make this formal. Or it could mean that J Dragon is going around the country effectively getting money from people. Because I want you to remember, Possum Creek has a Kickstarter, Possum Creek still has a, let me see, it's Like, Awesome Creek's game still has a Patreon, by the way. This is the thing you have to remember. People pay Possum Creek, a company that has made a lot of money in this sphere, a lot more money, for the promise of doing something. Everyone likes it. They're pitching out their new thing right here. It's the 7-part pact. That's what they're really pushing. That's going to be the next thing, and they're probably trying to court money from various people because that's what you have to do. Welcome aboard. Also, if you want to vote, don't forget, you horrible little creatures, you. Wow. Good job. Don't forget, you horrible patrons, you. Make sure to go to Patreon and vote. My VTuber buttons are showing at random. Yeah, I don't know. Well, at first I thought it was because the actual page here, the actual thing I have opened up, if you notice this, this is right here. This is how I can change everything. It's right up here, by the way. I go, hello. I can even shift to an entirely different form, but I don't, because you don't need me to do. Sometimes I'm thinking that I'm like mousing over it and it's saying, oh, obviously you want to click on that. Maybe it's not. Here, there's something I can do to check with that, though. Nope, that's definitely not it. Well, truly, we live in a society.tm. Let's see. J-Dragon says he likes Fatal 2. Company dies immediately. Let's see. The power of Lilith Cohen knows no bounds. Jay has wacky sex parties to go to. Please understand. Brother, I don't want to even imagine that. Let's see. P. Diddy sang like a bird were some very weird including guest at the naughty events he hosted. All I'm saying is P. Diddy might have dirt on Jay. Approved to start killing third-party 5e Miyazaki setting for 2044. Make millions or two. I love plutocracy. Fuck plutocracy. I saw someone voted for gay wrestling again. How long has that guy been doing it? At this point, I think everyone votes for gay wrestling. It's truly an art piece. I think more people should vote for gay wrestling because that's just what people do. I realize what the people want. They don't want anything else in life. They want hardcore gay wrestling. Sorry, in our Gachi Muchi fan server. Oh, also, there's the Yaziba jam. What the fuck do you jam with Yaziba? Guests, I guess? But why? Well, you know, you may be wondering why I'm like kind of like meandering around a bit. It's because I can. Yeah, because I can. But yeah, it's nothing too exciting as usual. The new hotness is more and more boring because God is dead and we can never escape. Let's see. I mean, there's got to be. Let's check out jams. Shut up and jam. Not really useful to sort through any of that. Let's fucking jam dashboard. Yeah, we've submitted a couple games there. Let's see. It's the Yaziba Jam 2024, everyone. Hell yeah. It's Yaziba Jam. Woo! Do we have any submissions? Of course, we've got a $4 racing supplement, and a game called Space Runner that is not actually a real game to jam to, because we are in fact not Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden. Notepad, yes, yes, Spartan. I love being an indie game developer. This is the this is the adventure we crave here. This is the this is my song, this is my dance. See, the thing Gua. Hello. Yeah. Well, the thing is, hello. Am I coming in all right again? Yeah. It's I was fucking with my mic earlier today, and I think I hit something, and it said no, don't do that again. If I ever do the FBMA, the entire joke with Yuzibas will be that Yuzibas is real. It is literally just a hell loop dimension that just never, never ends. It's just like, yeah, no, it's just, here's the hell loop dimension. It never ends. He summoned a daemon. God bless Abraxas. Abraxas could be here, he said. Abraxas. Let's see everything. There we go. Alright. Let's get to actual work, because that's what we do. I don't think there's really anything else fun and exciting to talk about. Unless there's some... Oh. God damn it. Oh, it's doing the thing again. Okay, give me 1 second. I gotta... Let me uninstall my keyboard here real fast. Because as you know, when you re-plug in your microphone, you have to uninstall both of your keyboards, of your 3 keyboards. As is known. Don't you all know when you plug in your keyboard, when you plug in your microphone, you have to uninstall 2 of your 3 keyboards? It's I'm spiritually Brazilian, I've realized over time, because my entire setup is jank as shit. Well, that's good. 3D printed minis are always a complicated affair, because I've been speaking about 3D minis. This reminded me, actually. Trench Crusade. That's one thing that's been happening. The Kickstarter is finally coming up. Yes, we're going to now see the Kickstarter for, for Trench Crusade. You remember that game every single human being has seen on TG since like 2015. This game is finally going to be real, guys. For realsies this time. Trench Crusade is happening. For realsies this time. Unfortunately, it was not nearly as cool as what everyone thought it was going to be. What a shame. There's also, speaking about that, there was also Quar. There's one with Q. Quar, I think. Quar. Yeah. Quar is the other game. This one, it's the, everyone likes Quar. There we go. It's these little guys. These little dudes. These guys are also here. Everyone likes the Quar. Wait, this was an actual game? Huh. Honest to God, didn't know that was a real game. Yeah, this is Quar. Where? Yeah, I don't know why you said talking about 3D printing reminded me of that. Most exciting thing that happened to me is somebody fucking crazy. Too many infantry. Trench Crusade had so much potential. It's really funny talking to people about Trench Crusade because there's very distinctly like people who play war games and people who don't. I've been following it somewhat. I've been following it to the best of my ability, and I have quickly realized that everyone involved is a terrible human being, and I hate all of them. And it's very funny. That's really all that's going on there. Every single person involved in this is a horrible person, and I wish they would all die. The end. I am, as you say, Trench Crusade's strongest warrior. I care so much about that game. Oh, God. Yeah, no, it's... Trench Crusade it's going to happen. I'm going to see it. I'm going to follow it. And it's probably going to do well, and we will never hear about it again. That would be my guess. Because that's what happens to every war game. Every indie war game inevitably dies or gets picked up by, like, Cool Mini or not. Alright, so, little bit of a rundown of what happened since last time. We've got a mixed dice pool. There are many different ways to get dice. And we've also got our system. Currently, there is no system. You just have dice and something happens. What I was thinking about doing is this. The precision and intensity system, or impact. Or impact, technically, because it's the same thing. It's an early name. And I was like, alright, what does this mean? Well, very basically, at the most basic core of what this game is going to be, it is going to be take a load of dice, take a load of dice, roll the dice, results. What does this mean? Generally speaking, there are going to be three kinds of rolls you're going to be making. You're going to be making an impact roll, you're going to be making a precision roll, and you're going to be making a precision impact roll. Technically, if I want to do it, a precision impact roll. Now, don't know the exact specifics, but I'm thinking a nice 5, 10, 15, 20 system. Nice and easy way of doing things. But unlike in Home of the Elven Queen, let's explain that. In Home of the Elven Queen, we had a system effectively of 5 and 10. What you want to do, for example, if I rolled a 3, 2, 5, and 3, 2, 5, and 5, I could stack the 3 and the 2 together with the 5s and get 3 successes. But let's say, for example, I ended up with a different result. Let's say, for example, with all my rolls, I ended up with a 7, a 3, a 2, a 4, and a 5, and a 4. Big roll. Now what you could do is you can stack these dice together. So the 7 plus the 3, 7 plus 3 equals 10. 2 plus 4 equals 6. That's only worth 1 success. 2 plus 4 though equals, guess what? It equals 10. Therefore, it equals 2 successes. Now, one of the gimmicks was you could not stack anything over 10. Anything over 10 was technically not worth it. So if I had, for example, an 11 final, having an 11 would still be 2 successes. Having a 23 final would still be 2 successes. It didn't matter how many you did. So you kind of wanted to have a length and width thing in Elven Queen. You wanted to have a large number of successes, and a number of die to compensate that. Now, we can make this a little bit better, perhaps. We can make this a little bit fancier, because fancy is what we do here. Now, what I was thinking about doing is the concept of precision and impact, or precision and intensity. Doesn't really matter what the idea is. The concept is, so let's take what our very basic roll here for our, this would be our very basic, Newman roll. D8 plus D10 plus 2D6. Write it out a little bit. I'll write it out a little bit different, just so we can see that. So effectively, we roll these dice, and let's say I'm going to grab my D10, I'm going to grab my D6. Where's my D8 when I need my D8? Hello, Mr. D8. Let's see. Why do you never have a D8 when you need a D8? That's always the tragedy of the D8, if you think about it. You never quite have it when you think you need it. Alright. So, got all my got my roll here. I'm gonna roll the dice. Bingo, bango, bongo. I rolled like shit. So my roll is 8, 2, 3, 4. This isn't very good. Now, what I was thinking about doing is with like a threshold of 5. Now, if this is pure impact, this is just what I want to determine what the impact is. I add all this shit together. In total, this is worth 17 or 3 impact. Hey, I've done something pretty good. If I just want to do precision, on the other hand, this would be 17, which is precision. I accomplished my goal very easily. However, an impact precision roll is a bit different because you have to account for both of those. So I look at this dice here, I look at my results here a little bit, and I say, well, I want my impact to be 10. I want that 8 plus 2 to be that way. However, my precision is only going to be 7 because those are the only remaining dice I have. Effectively, I score 2 impact, 1 precision. I accomplished my goal just barely, and I got a moderate impact on it. Now, this doesn't seem like a lot, until you realize that we can be rolling a lot of dice potentially, and that's one of the big ideas, is you want to get as much dice as you physically can get in these. Thus, you are building your impact and your precision. What does this mean, though, in game terms, in game terms? Precision is, can you do it? Impact is, how well do you do it? The best way to think about it is, we are in a fight. I am going to punch you in the face. I am punching you in the face. Precision is, do I actually land a hit on you? Impact, on the other hand, is how much damage do I do to you? You want to go, we're trading blows, bang, 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 bang. I could say, hey, I'm dumping everything into precision with very low impact. You might hit them very dead on, but do no damage. Contrasting that, you might do a lot of impact, but have very low precision, and it doesn't matter. because you'd missed. But you can apply this to other rolls. So the entire idea is build up a large dice pool, roll them all together, and distribute them among impact or precision, up to how you want to do things. This is just a very basic dice pool, but the premise still stands. Yeah, rolling crap during the demo. But yeah, no, it's even like, this is kind of a very basic roll. I was thinking about doing certain things. Let me actually... Thought of these, you have an implement, Ooh, ow. There's another one I thought of, and I can't remember what it is. But yeah, that's kind of the idea there, is we are building the concept of how big is the attack, how precise is it, and during certain instances, you know, do you land with precision and how much of an impact do you have on it? Now, the entire idea is you have one dice pool trying to beat a target number. That's the basic premise here. Now, easy answer. The two questions we need to ask is the idea of opposition checks. Of opposition. How do you oppose this? Easy answer is same roll. Which is same roll / you know, kind of like an opposed roll. Generally speaking, am I being opposed by someone or something? The answer is yes. You're gonna roll the dice. You're gonna roll the dice. Generally speaking, though, we can use a flat target number for most things, usually being 1. What does this mean? Hey, do you have 1 precision? Yeah, you get past the goal. Do you manage to do it? Yeah. Not a question of that, it's a question of how well do you do it. That's the question. How well do you do this? You might say, well, you know, I've rolled 1 precision. I'm doing really well for myself. Being like, you rolled a dog shit. Yeah, you complete it, but it takes you a little bit longer. Something goes wrong, something like that. Keep a nice flow to things. And the big thing is we can keep the entire concept of precision and impact throughout the entire system. Because at the end of the day, we're a giant fucking mess when it comes to that. And we still need to do a lot of other bullshit. The question there is, do we want to set like a base TN? And I would say 4 or 5. Effectively, a base target number says, how likely is this for me to succeed at this thing with just a basic die roll? Because the idea here is a little bit different. Because if we go with 4, in this situation at least, if we go with like 4, for example, that's 4, 8, that's 4, 8, 16, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Roughly speaking. 5 is 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Now, this doesn't seem too different, but until you realize you can score a success on a D4 here. You can score a success on a D8 here. D12, D12, D16. You know, generally speaking, it's a lot easier to score more natural successes here than it is down here. So it's kind of like, do we want people to score more successes naturally, or do we want them to get more of those stacked results? Because that was one of the big ideas in Elven Queen of why D4 was even there. D4 was a penalty. It was not a good thing to be rolling just a D4, because you have to stack it with one of your other die. Make it worth something. I'm back. And so that's kind of the base target number. Is it's like because I want the idea that the characters can reasonably succeed at something. I'm okay with people reasonably succeeding at something. It's a base target number. It will always be 4. You roll at least one successful die with 4, you succeed at it. Poorly, but you do succeed at it. The other option is a variable TN. Is a variable TN with like 3 to maybe like 8 or something. Like, the idea of the variable TN is like, oh, this is an easy check. It's 3. Cool, it's 3. I have rolled a 6, a 7, a 2, and a 3. So I rolled, wowzers. I rolled, my impact is 10, 8. I rolled an 18, and my variable TN is 3. Therefore, I rolled 6 fucking successes. Like an insanely, like, you can get insanely high, or I rolled 2 successes because I've got, it's a target number of 8 kind of thing. This gives us a lot more. Effectively, what we're doing here is it's trading. Do you want to trade precision? Effectively, trade precision for speed. Or I should say, speed for precision. That'd be a better way. Yeah, this is not a difficult task for you. It's going to be target number 3. Up here is the best way to think up here would be trading precision for speed. This is more of a theoretical precision and speed, not over. So it's like both of these have merit. Set TNs. Yeah, set TNs, minimum of 5 variable increase. Simple review, which requires more rolls versus which requires doing more math. Generally speaking, it would be the same number of rolls. It would be the idea of... oh, right there. Feel it. It would be the idea of what those rolls entail. But, I mean, if they... we'll go with TN. Base TN's nice and easy. I would say base TN5 seems to be the easiest. The thing with TN5 is that it does encourage you to die stack. A standard die can roughly score 1 to 2 successes, bar of a D4. If you want to get a 15, if you want to get 3 successes, you gotta stack those dice together. You want to get 4 successes, you gotta stack a bunch of dice together to maybe get something. Not maybe as valuable, but it's harder to get the bigger results here. But maybe that's not a bad thing. Oh god. TN is the integer for impact. No. So because one of the ideas is if we go into our traditional anime fight scene, fucking believe it, believe it A man is fighting believe it B man. And, sparks of power, everyone's fighting. The idea is that they are going to be making opposed rolls, because I want melee combat to be retaliatory, because I like retaliatory melee combat. So it's kind of that thought of, okay, we're both rolling. We both roll our die. I end up with a total of like 10, 8, 10, 8, 3, 6, 8, and 2. My enemy, on the other hand, ends up with 12, 3, 2, not 8, 9. Now, we're both swinging at each other. If I want to be able to hit, I need to dedicate these dice when we rolled, to precision. You know, to hit. Actually, this is a bad way of putting this. To hit, it would be our precision. To damage is our impact. Now, if we're going to distribute our actual die together, how would we distribute it? If B wants to go on complete defense, you would dump everything to precision with no impact. Why is that the case? Because he doesn't want to hit, he doesn't want to hurt you. He just wants to make sure you don't hit him. On the other hand, he might go full 1 precision and go full impact. Because if he goes that is, I am dumping, it's going to be harder for me to hit you. However, if I do manage to hit you, I'm going to beat your shit up. I'm going to fuck your day up. And that's kind of the back and forth there. You have a curve how likely getting each point actually is skill dependent. Well, that's where things get a little bit convoluted and unfun. Because you can get dice from a lot of different things currently. To give you an idea of where dice may come from. Just to let me see if I can't highlight where our dice are coming from. How can we forget about that? So roughly speaking, these are all the various instances of where our dice may be arriving from. So it's like, okay, it's hard to get like a good number on that. Generally speaking, my goal would be a pretty standard roll may look like something like this, but that's also a very precise way of doing things. My goal would be you're rolling 4 to 5 dice. That would be my thinking. It would be about 4 to 5 dice. But generally speaking, it's also pretty easy to keep track of because you're going to probably know what the fuck you're going to be rolling most of the time. I wonder what... Oh no, I need to punch someone. I wonder what I'll be rolling. Is it going to be the combat attribute? I wonder if it's going to be the combat attribute. I never thought about that. Me oh my oh me. Generally speaking, we may want to increase the number. Average dice pool we may want to do. Currently, I want it to be around 3 to 5. 3 to 5 dice to kind of like roll at once and distribute. Generally, though, one of the concepts I want to get across is most rolls you're going to be doing are going to be a precision or an impact roll. It's not really a question of how well do you do it and what's the impact on it. It is, can you do it? What's your impact on doing it? It's two different things. These are going to consistently get higher results. These would get higher results than a mixed roll, effectively. Because a mixed roll would get significantly lower number of successes. Is that a bad thing? You know, a precision... A precision impact roll is naturally going to produce lower results for both. Lower results for both because you're kind of rolling the same amount of dice for both. Okay. Example, combat roll? No, I physically cannot. I don't have that yet. We are not even in the write down the fucking, like, there's no document for this yet. This is schizo notes. The basic idea, if I'm going over here, if we're just going down the list here. Do you have a relationship with this person? Let's say you do. Let's get rid of all of this. So let's say we have a relationship with this person. I want to beat the shit out of this guy. Easy enough to understand. I want to beat the fuck out of him. Why? Because he cucked me. He stole my girlfriend. I want to beat him up because he's an ass. 2. What are my values? My values. These are things that are going to influence how you do things. You are going to tap your values and you want to get as much dice out of these as possible. Effectively, this is your carrot and stick mechanic. It's a carrot because you always want to do it. It is a stick because it's going to fuck you over if you don't. It is going to actively harm you if you don't play into things that are obsessions. Obsessions hinder you. Compulsions reward you. But let's say, for example, I've got a D8 in my I've got a D8 passion. I want to avenge this. This is an important thing. Let's say we don't have any advantages or bonuses, and let's say my career. I'm looking at my career. What is my career? Let's say, for example, I am just an assault. I am a D6 assault. That is my job. My job is to beat the fuck out of people. If I was a watchman, if I was an ambassador, if I was a stalker, I want to get this bonus. My job is to beat you up. I am a fucking nightmare. Skills. Look at all my skills. I don't have any appropriate skills. And do I have any special crafts? Let's say I do. Health is fine. Don't need to worry about that. Look over here. Do I have any special techniques or Newman that I want to use? Let's say I want to do my fortification. I want to boost my body up a little bit. Well, let's say I got a D8 in that. That's where my fortification comes from. This doesn't play into my bloodline affinity in the slightest. I am literally just dumping energy into this thing because I want to beat you up. What's my hex currently? Oh, my hex is I need to do some bullshit hand signs. My bullshit hand signs give me a D8, but it has to be a major action. I can't use any of my bullshit things as a minor one. Easy enough to win. I go up here. What am I doing? I'm gonna beat you up. This is all about combat art. Let's say I have a D6 in my combat art. Actually, let's be really not. Let's say I have a D10 in my combat art. Cool. Looking elsewhere. Let's see. Do we got any other dice though? We want to can we grab any more dice? No. We roll. What's our final roll? 2d6 plus 3d8 plus 1d10. And let's say, for example, he is rolling the exact same. Because, I don't know, maybe we're long lost brothers or something. We all roll our dice, we then make our impact, and we make our thing, and that's how we would resolve that combat round. However, what about the second round of combat? We roll the same shit probably because we're just gonna keep punching each other because we're dumbasses. That's kind of the idea. It's just like if you are playing to one another, it works. See, part of me wants to put in like another thing here. Like I don't want necessarily to have like a combat skill. That's one thing I'm trying to avoid. I don't want a combat skill. Generally speaking, I don't want a long fight. Long fights are going to be two things. This would be my goal. A very long fight is I would say 3 situations. 1, everyone's holding back. Every single person is pulling punches. Easy enough to understand. I am pulling punches on you, you are pulling punches on me. We are not going all out. 2, we are fighting something huge. This is a big fucking monster that wants to eat our face. Combat's gonna go a long while. 3, we are deliberately trying to all according to Keikaku one another, and there's like 12 people fighting. That could get a little bit confusing. Don't think we need to do that. But yeah, I think if we establish it easy and quickly enough, I think it should be easy to get everything there, because it would be Are you playing into all of these? Yeah, okay, just you have this written down. You already know what you're going to be rolling. Are you grabbing all of these very precisely? Yeah. Is your career always going to show up? No. Your being an assault is not going to show up anytime you're doing anything you need these to do. Are your skills going to show up? Like, that's kind of like one of those things, like, part of me wants to put in, like, the, like, there's a part of me that wants to put in a, how do I want to word this? Like a combat skill, like just like an overt one. Another part of me wants to be like, it's just the application, and you can put the application here if you want. That's a... It feels weird to put in like a quote combat skill in this game, because everyone's assumed to already know how to fight. So it's like, where do you put that? How do you put in a skill that everyone should know? Sounds weird because each particular combat will be a round 4 round identical with 0 player choice. But two fights against different target might be wildly different because of all the mental status stat. Yeah, I'm okay with that personally. It's, generally speaking, it's, are you fighting another Hexer? Yes. If the answer is I am fighting another Hexer, I am fighting another person with bullshit abilities. If the answer is yeah, then you are not fighting that person just mano a mano, because they're the guys who have the ability to clone no jutsu, and they're gonna do that. Hey, this is the guy who has the ability to possess your body with your shadow. Oh shit, we have to fight him at night. Pretty much anytime you are fighting a Hexer or a really big enemy, they are going to be rolling dice and effectively are going to be built like you. Anytime you're fighting regular people, I am literally thinking about having 2 stats for them almost, which is health and how much with their combat experience. Like, do you beat their combat experience? Yes. Cool, you hit. Do you not hit their combat experience? No, they die. Like, you get fucking hit. If you fight your evil brother over and over, it's going to be the same dice every time. Fighting 2 Anon will be 2 wildly different fights. Yeah, effectively, the goal there would be, we're not just using that to fight that way, if that makes sense. Yeah, oh cool, my evil brother has the ability to fucking teleport. Shit, we gotta now work around that. If we are actually just slugging it out, then we would roll that. However, we want to avoid that, if that makes sense. We want to avoid the context of just, we're just gonna punch each other to death. Like, I'm actually gonna bring up, we're gonna trigger the Naruto AMVs. Let's see, it's the, I'm gonna use this as an example. Like, to give you an idea, at the end of the day, oh hey, you have a Sharingan, you have got the other bullshit eye, and you've got a bunch of bullshit going on here. It's not about just a slugging match. It's the second you start pulling out things that are more than just a slugging match. We're very... And you're gonna maybe encounter someone who's way fucking stronger than you, who's going to use lightning ball exploding face technique and blows your fucking head off. Like, nothing you can do about that. So I lost the fight with my evil twin last week. Am I fighting him again today? What changes mechanically? Well, you probably don't want to fight him mano a mano again unless you felt pretty confident that the dice has fucked you over. That turns out to employing tricks. Yeah, you've got magic bullshit powers. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, when in doubt, pull out a weapon. You've got an advantage on them. You have a weapon, they don't. Hey, you never employ your super special technique to swap places with them. Do that. That'll probably do better for you in the long run. Trying to destroy his heart. Yeah, and it's, again, if you're fighting the same person over and over and over again with the in a plain white room, then yeah, it's gonna be the exact same shit over and over again. But last time I checked, we don't fight people in the exact same, 10 by 10 white room endlessly unless that's the point. Not everything is fair. And sometimes you want to mix things up. Because mixing things up is a good idea. When in doubt, play dirty. Because remember, we're hexers. We aren't supposed to be playing fair. Because this is a world where there are people with the really dumb shit abilities. In a world where Naruto exists with his ability of the power of fucking friendship to evaporate our balls, we're not going to play fair with him. We're going to employ every nasty trick we can, including just ganging up on him and hoping for the best. Yeah, fuck being fair. We don't need to be fair. We need to win. Let's see. I mean, if we're employing the kind of like types of combat, I mean, because kind of the idea over here with the application is when it comes to like, I want to use my special power to do something. First die you always get is your bloodline affinity. Are you playing to your affinity? The answer is yes. You are going to get a die. What Newman are you using? Fortification, Transmutation, Desolate, Void, Parasite, Conjuration. What are we doing here exactly? Cool. Second die. What's our hex? How are we actually doing? How do we actually deliver things? I use a familiar. I have to use a tool. I use hand signs. I use pre-created paper slips that let me do shit automatically. I have magic tattoos. I'm fucking jacked up on. I've got the yaya inside me, and I'm ready to go, but it's burning quick. Then what are we doing? Effectively, like the most basic things I thought of was like, this is something that like this is a cerebral art. I am trying to screw with your head. I am trying to create an illusion. I am trying to do something, mentally. Physical. I'm augmenting my physical body in some way. I want to change my arm into combat claws. I want to be able to leap 30 feet in the air, 300 feet in the air. I want to do something like that. Aura. Just random shit. If it doesn't fall into anything else, I don't fucking get it. Combat arts. I am literally doing taijutsu. I am unsealing my 8 gates and I am going to fuck you. Wait, did the system you describe include significant impact of terrain and scenery? We haven't even reached that far yet. Again, we just got the system. I got the system today. That was something I was kind of thinking about with like the idea of like how big of an impact you can actually do. If you want to do like your, fuck you, no jutsu technique or whatever, effectively what you would be doing at that point is hitting that, then rolling your impact. You've made an explosion. How big is that explosion? It depends on what your impact is. You don't want your explosion to be very big, then don't put a lot into impact. You want your explosion to be fucking massive, put everything into impact. Go big, go huge. You want to, this is my super explosion kind of thing. which is kind of one of the ideas of, you always want to kind of work around your hex. What's our restriction and our benefit? Paper slips are really useful. We can use paper slips whenever. However, we have a limited number of them to actually work with. And because we have a limited number of paper slips, we pretty much get our really bullshit hex hex die here, like a D12 or something, only a set number of times. We want to save as many paper slips as we have until we really need them. Roll, and then we hit one of their desired outcomes. That would be, it's kind of like mentally speaking, like there's a couple things that we could probably do, which is why I kind of put the idea here of advantages, and this would also in turn be disadvantages. There are two ways of doing this, which the option A, actually I should, is option A, we do it the Iron Claw method. We can do this the Iron Claw method, which is effectively enemy claims your disadvantage. Effectively, are you fucked up? They get a bonus to hit you. Or we do a removal from the top. Yeah, it's, hey, I roll my 6 die. Cool, wow, I rolled a 9. No, you fucking didn't. You have a disadvantage. It goes away. Oh no, I rolled a lot worse now because I lost my 9. Oh shit. Like, both of these kind of are, both of these work for very different situations. Part of me wants to put both in, part of me doesn't. It's a very large game. Yeah, you're kind of seeing the idea there with the kind of the idea of how I want to kind of do the hexes and things like that. Kind of like the idea would be like, yeah, the hand signs got like a D10. Hand signs are really fucking good. You were using, you're throwing all these hand signs out. The problem is you can only use it as a main action. It takes you time to do this. This isn't a quick action. This isn't something that you can do pretty actively. This is you sitting there for a second, longer than everyone else kind of thing, putting all your hands together and doing whatever you need to do. And all the shit's going on, you may not have time for that. You may need to do another thing. You may need to have something else going on. You're just spending time. That's the way you focus, though. And kind of like the idea of paper slips is like, yeah, paper slips, you just roll an extra D12. You get like 6 of them a day until you spend downtime and get all your paper slips back. Why is this weird? Because D12 is very powerful. That was like things like an implement doesn't give you like a huge bonus constant, but it's a constant one. As long as you're using your implement, you're doing fine. The familiars don't give you a huge bonus. The problem is, the advantage of a familiar is that you can place a familiar somewhere and cast through them. Your familiar becomes just as much part of you as that. Yeah, the alchemy coming to a fight pre-fucked up on speed, effectively. And that's kind of the second there being like, if this is the preparation hex, if you are fully prepared, you know what you're getting into, then yeah, down a bunch of shit and you're gonna be fine. You're gonna get a huge advantage in that fight. You're taken unawares, not as good. Or like tattoos, where it's a constant thing that you know what's going on. You always have that pretty good advantage. There's a problem though. If you get hit in your meridian point, your entire Newman go away. You don't get any more combat. You don't get any bullshit magic powers anymore. But think about it like this. We're fighting someone who has tattoos. What do? We look for their meridian point on their body, and we hit it. And that shuts down their magic for a time. This is good. Hey, this person uses paper slips. We need him to burn his paper slips. We need him to burn his ability to do bullshit. And we need to make sure that he misses with them. He's using them as more defensively rather than offensively. We want to keep him on the back foot. This guy's got a familiar. We gotta find the familiar. We have to find that little fucking chipmunk because he's casting his death he's casting a fucking haze of death around us because of it. Shit. Oh, he uses hand signs. Rush him. Just rush him. Don't let him force him to do anything other than his hand signs. That's kind of the idea, where it's like, the longer a fight goes on with another hexer, the more you're learning about them. Which, getting that initial advantage, or even just knowing who you're fighting, should feel like, oh man, I feel really confident now. Because I know my evil twin brother's got his wacky tattoo hex. Because I have the wacky tattoo hex. I know where his meridian point is. He knows where my meridian point is. Combat isn't even about hitting each other anymore. It's about trying to hit their point. Things get a lot harder all of a sudden. And we're just now trying to play mind games with one another. How do I get an advantage over you? How do I do something? Maybe it's just pulling out a gun and shooting haphazardly at him. Fuck you, fuck you, Glock no Jutsu. Yeah, and shoot his fucking dealer. If you know someone that has to use alchemy, delay. You delay him. You rush him so he can't take anything. You ambush him. You want to know when an alchemist is at most vulnerable? When he is not prepared. But if you are playing an alchemist, you want to know what you want to be at all fucking times? Prepared. There should be no one taking you by surprise, or you have your friend next to you who is fucking like this cracked super tattoo murder machine to protect your ass. Why? Because you have your bullshit abilities. That's your entire thing. Actually, yeah. And this was also going to be kind of the technically which was going to be, this is where I also kind of came up with the idea of like how to play Rock Lee a lot easier. Is like, yeah, playing Rock Lee here is, yeah, your hex is that you are a sealer. You don't actually have access to your Newman properly. All of these do nothing. They are worthless to you. You don't have any super juice. On the other hand, you have a really strong hex to beat the shit out of people. You are really damn good at just straight combat. At the downside of, well, you can't use any of the special powers. You have no aura, you have no ceiling, you have only combat. And some physical stuff. On the other hand, you don't have any Newman, which is effectively saying you can't see me if you're looking for that. You may want to invest high in the void. Maybe not. What's the thing? How am I doing today? I'm definitely alive. Oh. Oh yeah, Mickey 17. Oh, that reminds me. Boop, boop, boop. Which I'm actually very excited for Mickey 17 because that's my jam. Mm. Mm. Combat style, combat style. If we want to do like we want to have combat. Hmm. Mm. 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 Oh, no, hello phone. Poppin' phone. Mm-hmm. Hmm. On top of system for it. I mean, interesting enough. That's the thing. It's like it's interesting enough. Yeah, Mickey 17 is actually. Here's the thing. I'm a little sidetrack here. Mickey 17 seems really interesting because it did not even occur to me right off the bat that it was Robert Pattinson. Unironically, didn't even know it was Robert Pattinson. I don't know if they like what the makeup they did on him or something. Like maybe it's the hair. But yeah, no, I'm just like, yeah, that's, I did not actually see that was Robert fucking Pattinson. I thought, I was like, man, am I going fucking insane? Hello, phone. No, it's not a phone. Oh, thank you very much for following Tutterfunks. Seems like an interesting stream. I have to go as I found out. But yeah, every, oh god, ow, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Always remember that. Usually Saturdays as well, including this Saturday, which we'll be covering Wuxia games. Feels like I'm missing something. What am I missing? Yeah. The Bratty Toaster Diaz. Hmm. Oh my. I mean, if we want to, we can do the idea of like. If we're approaching this perhaps a little wrong, because we can go with the idea of I attack something like that. And like like the kind of like the idea that you can use any skill to fight. You can use certain skills to fight, like we can recontextualize some of these to fight, but sometimes they're going to be opposed by different things. That would be a really fucking weird way. That would be a really weird way to write a skill system. But we write a skill system with the intent. We write a skill system with the intent that every single skill can be used for combat as opposed by other skills. You hear what I mean? Am I going insane? Like we fundamentally like we recontextualize Like, we would have to cut the skill list down, but like, it wouldn't even be like a mirror. It would be like, here are like physical skill. It would be like physical skills. Like physical skills. And then we would divide these into your combat skills. And then your defense skills. Like that would be the split kind of thing. Ooh! Like that would be the split. That any physical combat skill can oppose any physical defense skill and vice versa. So it's like, yeah, no, I'm going to use weaponry, but using weaponry is very easy to understand. What are you going to fucking do with weaponry? Yeah, you can use a fucking sword better, but what's a sword going to do for you in the long run? A sword can be beat with endurance, but endurance can... Very weird one. This is very, like, esoteric. Like, we are looking at, like, like, states of esotericism that I didn't, like, we do something like this, we can actually... Like, the thing here, what you could do is you would have conditions that would effectively end up fucking with your ability to use certain skills. Like, yeah, you're a hexer, you are trained in literally every kind of combat situation because that's your entire job. But it's not even necessarily, you're not even necessarily trying to kill an opponent, you're trying to learn about them. What are you planning on doing? Trying to inflict conditions on them and trying to inflict this and that and that and this. That's a really, really weird way of looking at things. Either we do something like that, or we legitimately have like a martial, like a... Martial art is beaten by a weapon art. But obviously you don't always have a weapon. Kind of like we have almost like a... This is going to sound weird, but you have like a weapon wheel. This has no basis in any of these things, but... It would almost be like a... Like martial, like martial arts are beaten by weapon arts. Actually, it would be like something like this. Like martial arts beat range weapons. You are in combat, I have a range weapon, you don't. Range weapons defeat anytime you're using mystic bullshit attacks. Mystica beats any kind of slow melee weapon. Low melee will always beat medium melee. Medium melee will always beat fast melee. Fast melee will always defeat martial arts. I have a knife, you don't have a knife. Shit post. I mean, this makes vague sense, right? Unless we sub out something here. It seems like we have to sub something out here or here. Like, I think the best way to think about it is I am Hexer Man. I have a knife. You are Hexer Man. You are Hexer Man and you do not have a knife. I have an advantage. Okay. You have a gun. I have you have the advantage. You are using magic bullshit to attack me. Neither of us have a disadvantage or an advantage. You have a comically oversized you have an actual sword. Neither of us have an advantage. Something here. And then fast melee versus fast melee, neither of us have advantage. You're using martial arts, I would get the advantage. What would we be working with? Mind hacks? Yeah, I mean... Unless we shift range weapons for here, we do slow melee up here. Slow melee will beat your wizard shit. Wizard, actually, it's Mm. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at. Maybe I should keep it simpler. Keep it easier. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay, keep it simple, stupid. Martial arts. I want to punch you to death. I've got fast melee. I got a knife. Who wins this fight? I say fast melee wins that fight. Who beats fast melee? I've got a little knife. You've got a... I guess that would be a slow melee weapon. It would be like you have an actual, like... Slow melee, I guess we would call that, like, long melee. What beats long melee? I've got a sword, and I have a... I guess it would be like... Then it would be... something like this. Martial arts beats Mystica, Mystica beats long range beats fast range, which beats long melee, which beats fast melee, which beats martial arts. I guess you can do, actually, no. I guess it would be... I guess one of the ideas is that we've got, like, this concept over here, but then we would put in the idea of, like, what we could do is we could do the idea of, like, defensive fighting. If we're defensive fighting, we get to claim a D12, no retaliation. If we're aggressive fighting, if we're aggro fighting, we get the plus D12. So kind of the idea of we change the way we're fighting. The entire idea of defensive fighting would be, hey, I am deliberately trying to, you know, fight to protect myself. You can only do that while, actually I should say even like full defense is me saying, I am going purely defensive. I'm going to get a free D12 on my roll. I want to make sure I do not get hit. I want to increase my precision up. Impact is worthless to me, but I do not get to retaliate, which made pretty much just handing them the advantage. Aggressive fighting would be, I get a d12 when attacking you, however, whatever impact you assign, I take full damage for. Doesn't matter what happens. I am going full aggro, with the idea of, like, I want to force you to go full defense where I have there's no downside. Aggressive fighting does counter full defense. However, if they don't go full defense, you both get hurt. Scan fighting would be, you give them a d8 this round, but you get a d8 next round. Kind of the idea of, like, you're trying to figure out how they're doing things. You're not even fighting seriously. It's actually, I guess these would be like recontextualizing the fight. Like, this would be like, like, you're not even... Scan fighting would be the idea of, like, you are not fighting to actually hurt them. You are fighting and parrying and all that for the specific reason that you want information. What are you doing? How are you fighting? Why are you fighting? What dice are you rolling? What's your gimmick? Would be a good way of thinking about it. See, in a tragic state of affairs, I could use the Panic in Dawang Bizarre Field method when it comes to combat, is that no one really knows what the fuck's going on until it happens. No one knows what's occurring until... Yeah. Like, the entire idea of, like, using gambits and stuff. I don't know. I think we're getting a little off track here, though. I want to keep this right here. But okay. I think with this, I think we have our system. I think we have how to make a character. We have our lore. All right. I think we can do this. Seti Poroja. No, actually. Seti Poroja, fun fact, is legitimately the name of the beetle used to help people using the ripple. Because it's the Seti Poroja beetle. Yeah, it's a fake beetle. I believe it's a fake beetle. No, I mean double. No, Lisa is her actual name. You may think, why is Lisa her name? Don't think about it too hard. she is a gilf. Technically, yes. Okay. This reminds me. Our Newman flow, our total amount of bullshit energy we actually have to work with, which we can use to buy dice with. That's going to be it. There. You can always buy dice with the Newman flow. Okay. All right. I'm feeling good. I think we can do this. I think it's going to be a pain in the ass to do, but I think we can do this. Okay, if I go here. This pain in the ass is what we do best. Yeah, ignore the 14.5 gigabytes of space used. Just ignore that, and your life will be much happier. Page setup, whole document. Yeah. Yeah. I will work on boring font stuff later. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this one. I have a feeling this one's gonna be consuming my life for about a week and a half. I find it hilarious that a vast majority of NFTs are just stored on Google Drive. Yeah, it's great. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty decent about that. Like, we're gonna work on Palinka effect. I'll set this all up to make it nice and pretty. Like, we still have to I did wrangle the magic internet machine a little bit. Wrangling the magic internet machine did do its work. Had to employ some chicanery, as one may say, trying to get exactly what I want, but chicanery is what I do best. Snap your spine immediately. Ah! Ooh! Ooh! Oh god, ow. That hurt more than usual. Yeah, and, now as we have let me bring up the just to kind of give everyone a rough lowdown of what's going to be popping on. It's going to be Wednesday. Wednesday we're going to be talking about dungeon bitches. Now, you may be thinking, Notepad, what's dungeon bitches? Well, that's going to be the first line. This game is not for you. Isn't that an ERP game? It is not an ERP game. interestingly enough, it is not an ERP game. It really wants to be one, though. That's one of the more, I guess, unique ideas behind it. But it's really bad at doing that. But it's really bad at doing a lot of things, including being fun. But I am not one to say. So, I'm going to call it there. No raid tonight, because we haven't been going too long. Godspeed, good luck, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Do we have any final... Do you say that is busty barbarian bimbos? No. God, I wish. Alright, I am as they say.